What I love about this is you get a message in Teams, and it's something actionable that you need to do. And you get distracted, something happens, and a day goes by and somebody says, you were supposed to do something for me, what happened? Because that message is not prompting you to do something, it's literally just a message sitting in Teams. So the way my brain works is if I don't make a task with a due date and assign it to myself, I don't remember to do it. And I know I'm a little extreme, but it keeps us accountable, and it gets things out of our heads and onto paper, onto ClickUp, so we are reminded that there are things we need to do because we are all insanely busy. So I sent Alex a message and I said, hey, we need to get goodies and supplies for lunch. Now, Alex is distracted by all the fun conversations and the sessions that we have, and he doesn't want to forget that we need to buy goodies and supplies. So right from Teams, we can say, create a ClickUp task. So that's going to bring up ClickUp. Now location, and ClickUp is a
Sounds right.
hierarchy-based system. And I'll just leave it at that for right now. But we have a demo project in ClickUp for this, so we're going to put the task there. And now we get to customize this. So we need to say buy goodies, buy goggles, yeah. Buy goodies for lunch. The description here, that is giving you the URL of the Teams message. And then it's putting the text of the message here. So due date, we're gonna say this was due by, does this give us a time? It does not. You can set a time if we go back into ClickUp. We're gonna set this an urgent priority.
Assign it to yourself because I have an automation that fires.
Assign it to me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna
see if we can find your name.
This is the issue.
Just take a second to load
there we
up
go.
the users.
There I am.
Yeah,
so I'm going to assign this to me. So that's going to create a task. So you can have the ClickUp app on your phone, on the desktop, on the browser, and now if we click View, now we're going to see that task. So now, when I asked Alex to go buy goodies and he's distracted, he takes 10 seconds to make himself a task, and then he will get a notification when this is due. So he can even come in here and say, I need to go buy goodies at 11 a.m. before lunchtime. And then if he's got ClickUp on his phone, he'll get a push notification that, hey, there's something that, or me, that there is something that needs to get done. So I love this quick shortcut, because if I had to go back to Teams and copy the message and then go manually make a task in ClickUp, it's a pain in the ass, and I don't want to have to do more clicks and more work than I need to, because we're all busy. So then we've got that task. And then if we exit out of this, we could see this is our demo project. So here's all the things that we need to do for this project. And then there's a backwards integration. So like Alex had mentioned in the beginning. Yes, question?
Does ClickUp track like version history or changes?
To a task?
Yeah.
It does, yep. So if I come into, we have this project 2023, let's say. This was our testing of this. So if we go to activity on the right, hello. So this is kind of like your newsfeed, your activity. So I created the task, I changed the status, I assigned it, ClickBot had an automation. So yeah, you've got this version history of literally every click that happens to this task. You're welcome. And I like to tell clients, I said, you cannot hide from ClickUp. If you do your work and change the status 10 minutes before it is due, everyone will know. It is great for accountability, but then I feel like it brings people out of the shadows that tend to hide and try to act like they did their work in advance when they didn't. So yeah, it's great for visibility, for accountability, for asynchronous project management, because if the information is live and up to date in ClickUp, anybody who has access to that task will have access to the statuses, the due dates, the comments, things like that. So then kind of going in the reverse direction, like Alex had said, if you're not an active ClickUp user, meaning you're not in there every day, having it remind you of work, you're in Teams, let's say, ClickUp can push activity in ClickUp out into a Teams channel for you. So Do you think it triggered with this the way we had it?
Yeah, it should have.
So I can just show you.
Should be out in the Teams channel.
All right, let's see.
That automation is coming from ClickUp side.
Yes, and I'll
Yeah.
show you that. Yep. So then, ClickBot is
Yeah.
the automation tool within ClickUp. Yeah.
There's in the Teams side, there's a ClickUp app that'll show us ClickUp updated this, but it unfurls all the data of whatever was sent over, so you can see who created the task in ClickUp as well.
Is it a Teams app?
Yeah, it's inside the Teams app.
Why did it not?
It's an app inside Teams. Yeah,
Teams app,
Yeah.
Teams.
yeah.
Why did it not?
Oh, wasn't it there?
No.
We have to make sure we're in
Unless
the right.
but you had it assigned to me.
I might have scrolled down to the bottom though. We're under. Is it
The
under
demo
this?
channel was where it was supposed to sync the.
That's the latest one. Is this alphabetical down?
I think it's chronological.
We're going back in time.
No, I thought
Wait,
the
am I?
most recent was at the
Buy
bottom.
goodies for lunch today. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
Okay.
It was just going to reverse. Yeah.
So I'll show you how this works. So in the way ClickUp and Teams is set up right now is that each individual needs to go in and set up how they want this integration to work themselves. So the way we have it set up right now is that, I will show you because I don't remember, but it has to be synced to a channel in Teams, not a chat in Teams. So you can, if we come back here, there we go. If we come into our, is it these settings
Is that under
here?
the app settings? Yeah.
Not Click Apps.
App Center.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. So there are some out-of-the-box integrations with ClickUp that are workspace-wide. So meaning you set it up once and it applies to every user in the workspace. Some are individual. So here we could see this one is personal. So the way we set this up, so this is within ClickUp, so you have to connect ClickUp and Teams initially. You log in, you do all that fun stuff, and then here we get to set up the rules. And you could have as many rules as you would like, but here we have, so when something happens in the demo project list, it is going to push a notification to the CollabCon demo Teams channel. So that's how we have it set up. And then you can select if you only want notifications for things that are assigned to you. Because one thing that we've each done as a test is created our own personal Teams channel, so everyone's not getting inundated with notifications that are not applicable to them. So you can set that up so you're getting your ClickUp notifications kind of mixed in with all your Teams notifications. So you can choose or not to have only assigned to you notifications pushed. And then we've got these 6 options. So what activity types do you want to get in Teams? When a task is created, when there's a comment, a new status, an assignee, a new attachment, and things like that. And then we have and then this is just telling you all the other goodies that you have available. You can't click on this, but you can create tasks from Teams, preview the links, and things like that. So I like that it's kind of like a nice two-way street between ClickUp and then Teams back and forth.
The list that you select at the top.
Yes.
Is the task list that lives in ClickUp, right?
Yes,
Correct.
yeah.
This is so right now we're in the
Source of the trigger and then.
exactly.
It's going to apply the
Cor-
selected actions.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
It's kind of like auto forwarding in a sense, but you can be more specific about when it should fire and different cases, and only have it whether something gets applied to you. But it always goes into one dedicated Teams channel that you describe or you define.
To like overly simplify it, it sounds like kind of like just setting up like alerts or notifications for any kind of app, you know?
Yeah, it's similar
Yeah.
to that. It doesn't unfurl
Yeah.
the details, so it's not. I mean, it makes a two-way street because then what unfurls in Teams becomes a clickable link that goes right to the task in ClickUp. One of ClickUp's kind of basic elements is that every task list, every place you would go, you can copy a URL to go right there. You can share that individual piece of information with people who or not on your team. So it gives you that, you don't have to necessarily be part of the ClickUp space or be part of the, the broader team. You can still be given information, or you can be given access into the ClickUp world of information.
And to your point, ClickUp has in-app native notifications that do this as well. This would just be helpful if maybe you're not in the habit of going into ClickUp every day and checking those notifications, or like Alex said, you can even get these ClickUp notifications if you don't even have a ClickUp account. Just be synced to that team. And then you can create multiple rules too. You can collapse this, and then maybe if you wanted because this is a location-based trigger in ClickUp. So if we said, maybe this is set up on a project-by-project base, so you could create a new rule that's when something happens in this project list, post a notification to this other team channel in Teams.
Now, so this part can't be easily automated, but in terms of like the sync we described, where we have our ClickUp project area, and then the Teams chat and channel area where clients have access, you could really easily, it's essentially 2 or 3 clicks to say, this info will now be updated here, and make it as granular as you'd like.
All right, you want to do
All right,
the,
yeah, what more do we got? We had 1 or 2 more for
we're
you.
going to do the universal search?
Yeah, let's do that. You already did the auto posting. Okay, great.
Yes.
Yeah, so a couple more cool ones we can walk through. It's a similar, it's basically creating the two-way street in various ways with other Microsoft products. And ClickUp has been they're extremely diligent about their product roadmap and feature updates. They're always unveiling features that, every week or two we're finding new things that we're just surprised by the fact that they're investing into it, and the Microsoft partnership is certainly one of those. So there's features that are coming down the pike that aren't here yet that'll make it even more exciting. But for now, in terms of some of these ways to simplify things, as Alex was describing, one of our big mantras is, like you said, do the work, use the tool that's meant for that work. So ClickUp and other product or project management tools like Basecamp, Jira, et cetera, those are great for managing the tasks and seeing what things have done. And Teams and these other tools are really the best for communication and other areas. We're not trying to replace Outlook. ClickUp does have a chat feature that is kind of a Teams replacement, but it's not robust enough to say you should move off Teams, and it's not really a good resolution for anybody. So in a similar function, we'll have these integrations that kind of solve the Teams issue and allow you to use both tools seamlessly. Outlook, similarly, you can sync your calendar from Outlook into ClickUp, and I can show you an example here of, right now it's a one-way street, a one-way connection, just for speed, but eventually soon will be a two-way sync. So for instance here, ClickUp, again, one of its features, let's say we have this list of tasks or projects that we have to unfurl, or have to rather tackle. And as multiple tasks with different due dates and different durations, who's doing what, these are all broken down here. But this is just the normal way you would oversee that work or manage it in a tool like this. You can automatically convert that into, or visualize that as a calendar, or as a Gantt chart, or other ways to kind of see the work. But the value of this, it's nice to be able to see, what do I have to do today in terms of these projects. But by default, this isn't telling you what your external work looks like, your external day. So for folks who are primarily scheduling in Outlook or scheduling in other tools, and their work lives there, or knowledge of what you have to do that day lives in Outlook, being able to pull that in to ClickUp is very, very valuable. That automatic sync isn't here yet. That will be coming in probably next quarter, I'd say. And being able to pull just automatically sync without any extra work would be great. But for now, we have two effective methods to accomplish that. For one, you can easily move any item from Outlook, or effectively forward it into a ClickUp space to create a task based on what that is. So one way you could do that, I don't have let me see if I can open my calendar.
I'll tell a story while you
Oh yeah,
get to
sure,
that.
go for it.
So one thing that we like to stress with clients as project management consultants is you really need to manage projects in a central, singular location. We hear all the time, I got an update from a client in an email. Somebody texted me. Somebody put a Post-it note on my desk. Somebody walked into my office and started rambling on for an hour. Where the hell is that information about the project that so-and-so told me? And this decentralization of project information is really what leads to the inefficiencies of I spent an hour looking for this document and just inefficiencies. So having an email that a client sent you forward to the ClickUp task where you're managing the project can be super helpful, because too, if a client sends me an email, but Alex really should have been CC'd on it and he wasn't, we forward that email to ClickUp, not even forward, we integrate, or we send the email to ClickUp through the integration, and now everybody who's on that project team has visibility into that email. Or if somebody sends me a Teams message when it should have been in ClickUp in the project management space, we just forward that along too. So ClickUp is really that central hub for taking all the decentralized ways we all communicate and share information, Teams, SharePoint, Outlook, all of that, and just having ClickUp be that home base for all of your project updates and information.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I'm not sharing the Outlook screen on the Teams channel, But from the calendar side of things, one way you can accomplish syncing your items, or rather, it's similar to what we showed on the team side. You have an email or an event invite or something like that you want to make sure is showing up in your ClickUp workspace. You can email any item into any list to make it its own task. And it's every single list in ClickUp or task list has an email address that you can forward things to, like so, and you can just pop it up like here. And that's the kind of incoming method, and then outgoing method. If you are, I'll show you on the Outlook side. Each of these kind of dark blue items, these are synced directly from that ClickUp list, and it's specifically set up to that list. So you can be granular again and sync specific projects or those schedules, or you can sync more broadly to make sure that when you're looking into Outlook, hey, this is what I'm doing today or tomorrow. I'm at CollabCon today, and these are the various meetings. You can see not just your meetings and everything else, but the tasks that you have to take care of as well. Not quite as exciting on that side. But then similarly, as you can visualize in the calendar view here, but it's not going to give you the full picture the same way your more broad approach would. And you can also see that the task I emailed in here has been created as its own trackable item. It includes the entire email body by default, so you can pull information from that. But it's a similar kind of, it's a shortcut method to keep the work in the place where you need it to be to make sure you do it. And simple ways to get it in there are going to save you a lot of hassle of skipping or missing tasks. So that's one easy part. The Outlook sync, it's a little lower tech, but as they continue to build out that two-way sync, it'll be a lot more exciting, I think. And make sure you're accurately scheduling and everything else. And then OneDrive and SharePoint, that's a newer feature upgrade that they've added. Effectively, you can always integrate your OneDrive or SharePoint accounts in ClickUp, but it's not, basically it's more of like an attachment shortcut feature. So let's say I wanted to add, if we were rolling out a new project, like in this case, new project for Jackie, and I want to make sure that the SOW for that project is attached here so that if I ever need to, hey, see what the details are, it's obviously very visible. You can go and either drag and drop a file directly, or you can sync your OneDrive SharePoint accounts, either on a personal level, so just whatever you have access to will be visible to you and no one else, or your workspace-wide SharePoint, so that you can go and pull all the files from the rest of your team. And you can actually do both, and if you do both, then you have access to more options. But for some reason, it's not popping up the modal, so I can't actually attach something. Effectively, what this would do is just showing your browser window in your OneDrive file list as it would be in Windows Explorer. Yeah. So you're not missing too much on that side.
It's great for version control. Not, did you email the latest version of this spreadsheet? Am I working off an old one? That's literally the live SharePoint link or OneDrive link. So you put the file there once, and then whoever's collaboratively working on that project always has the most recent one, because it's literally just a live link to the SharePoint or OneDrive file.
Yeah, so unlike when you attach a regular downloadable file, it opens the file in ClickUp, and it's the file itself, that version, versus the live one. That's a great, a lot of our clients have questions about how do we make sure we're using the right version, use the old version or whatnot. Like if you're already using OneDrive or Google Docs, whatever it is, you're always using the latest version, and you can ensure it, but also make it convenient for your project team to see, find those documents. I'll also say, echoing what Alex said before, ClickUp, you can use it to store files, and you can use it to structure documents, things like that, but it's really not its best use case. If you're a light touch, it's not bad, but if you're already using these more robust tools, then absolutely recommend to continue with integrations. This feature right here is called Universal Search, and I'll just pop up. We have ClickUp's built-in AI called AI Brain, or ClickUp Brain. We'll use kind of both of those. On the regular Universal Search feature, this is what Alex was describing. By default, when you're searching in the platform, you're going to search in ClickUp. It's going to show you all the ClickUp questions you have. So maybe I want to find CollabCon docs. So it's only going to find stuff that I've titled CollabCon or has similar, whatever fields that you dictate based on your search history or search options here. As those pull up, you'll see just ClickUp items. But similarly, you can either go specific to one of these other areas like Slack, SharePoint, or OneDrive if you connect those to your ClickUp search. And then you can pull up the specific CollabCon docs, which again would be exciting if it showed you all the various files we had here. But really the benefit is that you can pull from everything at once. So on the All tab, which was showing, we got some. When you're on the All tab, it's, hey, I know I'm keeping my files in different places, or maybe I'm looking for tasks or projects in this tool and meeting recordings or transcripts in this other tool, but being able to pull them in at the same time with one search is the biggest power of this feature.
What was your question?
So when you connect those OneDrive and SharePoint, is that user specific? So you're only connecting to yourself, so you would only have access. So like, my question is,
Similar to what I just said about the OneDrive, yeah.
My question is, when you search for that, you know, that universal search, is it only searching items that you have access to, or is it searching everything? But it sounds like it would just be.
Yeah. So there are two different features, but yeah.
Still permissions based, right?
Yeah,
In
so there's
SharePoint or
two-
OneDrive?
There's two things. So there's the personal search, right, where you can see only what you have access to. You can't tell the difference here, but if you have to set up personal search, and then that's what Alex is getting right now.
Yeah.
You can also
You see
set
shared
up
with me.
a company-wide search. So if you make, like if you have a public space, like let's say for instance you have HR documents, like you know HR policy documents, you can set that up to be always available for anyone that uses ClickUp at all, right? So, and it'll still, like when they click on the link, they won't be able to access it if they don't have access in Microsoft.
So if they click,
Yeah.
they'll see that it exists, but if they click on it,
Yeah.
it'll try to prompt them to sign in or open that.
But it's really granular. So you literally have to go and you have to say, all right, I have this Microsoft team or this Microsoft channel, and I only want to grant access to this, and I want to make it available to everyone in ClickUp across the entire organization. So I prefer the personal
Yeah.
integration more than the other, because it'll just get frustrating, and also you might expose like file names or something that might be, they still can't click on it or do anything with it, but they would still be able to see the file names. So.
Yeah, it's similar to the way that the one when you're opening or attach a OneDrive file, it's nice, like you were saying, it's nice to know you have access to it. That's great. But there are cases like case with Jackie, when we enabled the workspace level search with SharePoint, which just rolled out like last week, so it's not even fully fleshed out yet. But once it is, Jackie would be able to find documents about projects that she's not on, which some cases that's bad, in some cases that's really helpful. She needs to cover for somebody. She's not, she knows this file exists, but she can't get to it. At least she can request access and know that the files are located in a certain place. So it's really that power of, one, just the search function, being able to find the stuff is great. But this is ClickUp's AI tool that's built in that really is, it leverages, and the search function leverages that same technology, but you could do, you could ask it for more specific details, or hey, pull these up, summarize these documents. I think we're slowly getting to a point where it'll be able to read and summarize the external files, but it's not quite there yet. And as you can see in this example, it's showing me 4 different items in ClickUp specifically, but nothing in the SharePoint or OneDrive. I think that's just because it's looking for my my personal OneDrive at this point. But you can be very specific in the asks here, and then do more exciting stuff with ClickUp Brain and whatnot. So that's one of the main benefits of that tool.